Phase right here, we're just going to be going over Zoom, which is probably our chief tool in the tool belt. During this online odyssey, like we've been saying through the pandemic, that has been the preeminent virtual tool that we've been using for our students and even professional development among educational professionals. The biggest things is to make sure that you're prepared. Make sure that you're taking the time to do your homework, so to speak. Presenting is huge, but the first order of business is to make sure that your tech, your hardware, like your camera, is working and functional. Understanding the different functions and the judicious use of the mute button. You don't want to be too rude to your guests by just shutting them all up by having them on mute 24 hours a day, but at the same time, you want to be able to exercise that at will, because there will be times when the presenter will not have a chance to basically moderate the conversation because so many people will be talking all at once. So to make a smoother experience, to get your information out there, you want to be able to use the mute button at will. Headphones are king. If you can actually use headphones for the participants, that makes the experience a little bit better, so you can eliminate some of that background noise. Participation is key. You always want to keep the energy high. You want to do your best to engage. And engagement is a two-way street. We all know that. It's never going to cut through anyone that is unwilling to receive the experience, but we're always here to do our best and bring the right energy. Use of the chat can really help things along, because sometimes, even as adults, especially even with the kids that we serve, people just don't like to speak. So utilizing the chat function allows you to be able to get through certain things, answer questions midway through without interrupting the flow of the presentation. Icebreakers are a great tool. What is the most exciting thing you've done this summer would be a good example. What bad habits have you picked up this summer? Share some exciting news, somebody's birthday, somebody's pregnancy, somebody just hit the lottery. Well, no one's going to tell you that, right? Share an epiphany you had during quarantine. Use some kind of anecdotal evidence to relay it back to whatever it is that you're presenting. Maybe you have a personal account or a piece of rhetoric from pop culture or something that's going on in the news media right now that might make it relevant. All right, so this is a presentation about leaving your mark. I'm going to skip that over for the sake of time. Since this is a class assignment, we don't have to do that. Operations handbook. Please refer to your email in the document following along. Although we're reviewing the changes in important parts, you're responsible for reviewing it in your entirety. Remember that at Somerset Preparatory North Lauderdale, we adhere to excellence. We're always here to help. We're always here to make sure that you know all about our policies and procedures. But just in case, outside of this use as a professional development training, always check back to your operations manual and your principal or administrator. All right, so we're going to take a small break. I'm going to skip through. I'm going to edit that out. Cameras on at all times. So these are some of just the Zoom basics, virtual classroom must-haves. These are kind of the best practices that a lot of professionals in not only the academic world, but in the professional world find. Having an expectation of cameras on at all times. Making eye contact with students. Eye contact is key. Nobody wants to be presenting to somebody that you're just going to see the side of their ear, right? Wear your uniform on at all times. Make sure that you have the proper attire that reflects what your role is or what you're presenting, right?